how do you define success? So in a classroom, it might be the person who has the highest grade. That person's successful. In the gym, it's the one who can pump, the greatest amount of lead or metal, of barbells, right? But is that true success? Or is success going above and beyond our comfort zone? So, in Western civilization, we are programmed, or I think human nature, it's not even just Western civilization, but we are programmed to feel that success is, the person who gets the highest mark. That's the truly successful individual. Or in business, is achieving the greatest.
If you want more and in an intimate and personal setting, together with like-minded people who seek to grow and become their truest self, click the link below in the description and join the Tanya Rabbi community, TRC.
That's really a successful person. Now, the truth is that person perhaps had to really put an effort and struggle to get there. But that's the true sense of success that is important for us to remember. Because everybody's given, a certain nature, genes that we're born with, a set of factors that are beyond our control. And the fact that somebody, can be way up here and someone way down here in capability. So we glamorize this person for their success. But ultimately, Judaism is not to be viewed that way. It's to be viewed in a relationship with God, like an infinite ladder. And whatever rung you're on is irrelevant. It's just what direction you're going in. Are you going above and beyond where you're at from yesterday, today? Are you doing something that is an effort that takes struggle to achieve more, to be connected more, to do more good? Is that what is motivating you? Is that what is helping you? And how do you do that? As the Alter Rebbe explains, if it's for self-fulfilling purposes, so then, you want the gold medal, you want to achieve, so you're going to strive and you're going to put the effort and you're going to struggle. But the whole struggle is very self-directed. It's self-fulfilling, self-directed, and it is the power of the animal soul. The animal soul, we call it an animal. Animal has power to it. So it can power us to achieve and to be successful. But that's not the real success in life. And unfortunately, we glamorize those kind of achievements, whether it's in business, whether it's an athlete, whether it's an actor, whatever it might be. Yeah, that they endured, they worked hard. But they're working hard, and their effort that they put in, which, by the way, there is a value to that, and I don't want to completely, say that there's nothing to that. There is. But that's not called serving. That's called self-serving. And that's not what Tanya is about. Tanya is about getting really out of your comfort zone. And the comfort zone is me. And to have a headspace that, no, I'm here for not to be self-serving, I'm here to serve. So the very fact that is the notion that we kind of want to live with, and that's what a Beinoni training is, BIT, right? That gives us the capacity to be motivated by what God needs from me, and to go above and beyond my comfort zone, meaning my natural inclination, whatever that natural inclination is, and always trying to look to increase. So I think the measure over here that would be a good measure for us in our lives is to see, to look back and, a week ago, a month ago, several months ago, and see how much am I growing in my Torah mitzvahs? How much am I growing in my relationship and connection to God? Is there growth, or am I stagnant? Which ultimately, you can't be stagnant. Either you're going up or you're going down. That's the human condition. Angels stay in one place. We're not angels. So either we're, it's like in human relationships. Either you're getting closer to the person, right? Because you're putting in an effort, you're putting in an effort to become closer to your loved ones. Or you don't put in the effort, and what happens? You become further removed, right? You become further removed. You didn't make the phone call. You didn't put yourself out to try to be there for them. So by doing that, that brings you closer. By not doing it, it doesn't remain in the same place. It actually brings you further removed. That's just the way things are in life, right? We're not stagnant. There's going to always be this movement. So, this is the challenge. So in many areas in our life, we are always looking for success. So it might be for a diet. It might be for going to the gym. It might be for your business. It might be for anything else that's meaningful to you in your life, a relationship and whatnot. And all of that can be motivated and will most likely be motivated from self-directed purposes. But that's not called serving. That's self-serving. So the first thing is the lingo that we need to think about is that we're here to serve, not to be served. And therefore, if I'm here to serve, meaning I'm here to serve God and what He needs, now that can be reflected in every area of life. But of course, the first place it needs to be reflected is in my Torah mitzvahs, in my Torah study, in the mitzvahs that I'm fulfilling. Am I putting an effort into it? Into my Torah mitzvahs, into my prayers in the morning, into my Tanya that we're learning right now, right? Am I putting greater effort into it? Meaning, it could be simply just being more present and more focused. It can be more than that too, but whatever that means. And from there, then it can also spill over into business, into exercise, into dieting. That can also be not just something of the animal soul's desire or, my human desire. Suppose that I can connect that with the Almighty of what He needs from me. And therefore, when I contemplate about my relationship with Him, that will be a motivation that I will rise above what my natural inclination is and to go above and beyond. The 101 first, beyond the 100. All right. Let's get into some discussion about this, into some, okay. Let me see on Facebook here if there's any questions. So Leah she was thinking, I'm thinking, as mentioned yesterday, being shy, a reserved person, certain things are hard for me. However, Hashem blessed me with love and caring for others, and I have a deep desire to help others. But my comfort zone is to stay in and surround myself with books and read all day. But like all of us, Hashem gave us unique gifts and talents that we are responsible to use these gifts and to serve Hashem. Whatever that might be for us as individuals, we all have unique gifts. So it might seem like I'm a Bainani if I stay all day and read Torah all day and pray. But no, because I have the ability to do for others, I have to go out and to reach out to others. Yeah, to sit and learn a whole day and to be engaged, for yourself, like you say, maybe that's the comfort zone and you want to stay there. And you want to stay there. Yeah. I've mentioned before, there's two things in life that we need to know that God needs from us. Like you mentioned, Leah, we all have talents, unique talents. And that area we have to excel in and to strive above and beyond in our service of God to use those talents in a godly way. There's another area, exactly the area that I want to run away from. Whether it's in a relationship, whether it's the shyness, whatever it might be, where I am not comfortable with, exactly where I'm not comfortable with is where the struggle will be most and most dear to the Almighty. Think about it. How true that is. Exactly where I am not an expert in. Now, in the areas that we have an expertise, for sure, we were given that. So use it out in the service of Hashem, like you said, Leah. But exactly where I'm struggling with, right? I'm giving this as a basic principle, and it depends if you're struggling in an extremely abusive relationship that is extremely destructive to the family unit. Let's not go to the extremes. All that's in the one-on-one sessions, or even any of this in the one-on-one sessions that can be dealt with. But exactly where I don't have the great talent, where I am lacking, right? So there we want to run away from. On the contrary, sometimes that's exactly where we need to go. That's in particular when it comes to relationships, that's for sure. But in other areas also. That is an extremely powerful idea of what it means. Exactly where I'm uncomfortable, rise above it. Again, as a general principle, I don't want to say in all instances, okay? I think I'm losing a feed over here. But thank you, Leah, for sharing it and being vulnerable, actually. Thank you. Well, Davida, I just lost your question. Usher, don't we all know that we have had experience in having a substantial emotional, loving engagement with Hashem? On the one hand, in diligent and successful efforts in study of Torah with awe and wonder, only to turn and face, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. In the middle of me reading it, I lost the feed. Is a tzaddik naturally closer? Do we need to work on anything? A tzaddik is naturally closer, yes. Joyce, you miss your community. Okay, well, you have a community over here that we're creating. But go to your community too. Focus on the struggle. Yeah. So, Jeffrey, John, Usher, I'm sorry, repost, because I lost it. The feed got lost. Okay. My apologies. I don't know what happened. I mean, it loses the feed at one point. Yeah, tzedakah being given till it hurts a little bit. Yeah, likewise Torah study. That's how you know you're going beyond your comfort zone. When you're giving charity and it's a little uncomfortable to give that amount, That's very true, John. And so, likewise, when it comes to Torah study, right? David, as I mentioned, the feed was lost, so if you could maybe repost it, copy it, and repost it, my apologies. Do we have anybody that wants to share with us on Clubhouse? I don't see on Instagram any questions, unless I missed something. Corey, are these mitzvahs that bring us closer to Hashem than are there mitzvahs that bring us closer to Hashem than others? That's a good question. I mean, all in the end do. All in the end do, but there's probably an order in what to start with, and is depression a comfort zone? Yeah, that's a real bad comfort zone. But you're right, it is a comfort zone. Or maybe that's how we become uncomfortable. Sam, very good question, comment that you made. Actually, we're going to learn about it soon, so we'll get to that. Okay. That idea of the engagement between the animal and the godly soul. Very good. John, is success measured in the amount of Torah studied and the time spent? Well, again, there's two ways to measure success, and there's a truth to the fact that, how much you know is a measure of success, right? So if you know a lot, that's successful. But there's another measure of success, which is the way God measures ultimately, and that is about the great effort a person puts in. About the great effort that a person puts in. That is the ultimate measure of success in God's eyes. In human eyes, there's success about, you're the number one medical doctor. You're the number one Talmudic scholar because you know so much, right? So there is something about that. But that's not the true sense of measure. By the way, what comes out of this? Something very interesting. So the top medical doctor and the top Talmudic, student, they can be really full of themselves. I'm number one. I was number one in my class. I got 99.9. And naturally, you become full of yourself. And that's why most people that are successful. They're full of themselves. After all, I worked hard and look what I accomplished. But on this manner, the way we're looking is the effort that a person put in. So for someone way down here, as opposed to someone way up here on the level of, let's use now observance. So this person prays every day and is attuned, engaged, and so on. This person, they just put on their tefillin. And that was a struggle for them to put on tefillin and to say the Shema. It was hard to say the words. It was like it didn't feel great because I'm not used to this, and I have my questions about God and so on and so forth. And this person, but I got to do it. I'm sure God would love this. And you struggle to do it. And it was a great struggle that you overcame. That is more dear in God's eyes than the person who's way up here who prays more on autopilot. Even though their prayers are beautiful and, they're attuned to it and so on, but there was no great effort put into it. There was no great effort. So this person's going up the ladder. This person maybe went down a touch. Didn't really go up. Went down a little bit. So in God's eyes, this person's greater. That's why you can't truly judge. And that's why this person can, if they recognize this concept, will be humble. Hey, I pray every day. I never miss my putting on tefillin. I never miss, da-da-da-da. And I'm always, yeah, but are you climbing the ladder? Or maybe you're kind of stagnating and maybe even regressing. So that person who recognizes that will have the humility and say, wow, I'm humbled by the struggle that you went through, that you overcame to do what you did. That's Jewish. That's Hasidic. Well, that's what we're talking about here. So there's a beautiful byproduct that comes as a result of this. David, when you're faced with tests and challenges, especially ones that we don't understand, is that Hashem putting us out of our comfort zone for the good? Absolutely. Well said. Jeffrey, how many types of klipas are there in Tanya? 2 types. Klipas loiga, shosh klipas atmeis. Yes. Do tzaddikim, righteous people, have struggle? Not as we struggle. Where our struggle is with the negative side, with our negativity, their struggle is only in positivity. Because we have urges of the heart that are negative. We have a lust in our heart, for self-directed, fulfilling pleasures. And they don't have that. There's another question on Instagram, okay. Okay, thank you, Yocheved. The 3 higher worlds, yeah. Bria Yetzirah Siya. Okay, yeah, that's another time. Pamela, depression could be the comfort zone that a person's living in, and comfort zone doesn't mean you're comfortable. I mean, you're comfortable in the sense that, misery loves company, right? Misery could be a place that people are used to and know and feel more comfortable than being joyful. So, it's a different, comfort just means the area that I'm familiar with, and the area that I maybe, I'm familiar with and comfortable. And okay. All right, anybody on Clubhouse? No. All right. As always, great discussion with everybody. Much appreciated. I'm struggling on how to get these teachings to more and more people. Many of you have reached out and told me personally, or sometimes just on the feed, like like now. As many of you daily actually even say, and how this is life altering. So I struggle and making an effort on how to bring this out to so many more people, and not just leave it go as it is. I know that that's something that Hashem needs me to do, and I'm actually reaching out to you, that if anybody has any thoughts, or has any, in social media in particular, experience and know-how because I don't. But I do have some people, helping me out. And reach out to me privately. And join us in how we can really make a difference in people's lives.
Rabbi.
Yes, Vilma.
Well, there may be numerous people's lives that you don't know you're reaching and changing. Just because some people may not be comfortable telling you they have that relationship with you, but I know that sharing is caring, and that little simple thing is something that I try to do, just because anything that I connect with is something that I'm really excited, to share. And you're one of those people, so I'm grateful for that.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, much appreciated. You're right. Of course, it being that this is out there, so it can touch so many people that doesn't get back to me or to anybody. But that being said, it needs to reach more, and not to stay comfortable where I am. That's one of my struggles, and the effort that I need to put in. So I'm actually reaching out to anybody who would like to help out. Well, one simple way everybody can help out is, of course, sharing this with others and inspiring just one more person to come and join. But beyond that, if anybody has any kind of know-how in social media, and that would be great to help. All right. Wonderful. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine, coming to you from Chabad Zuch in Kadesh, Montreal, Canada. It's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you, as we do every day, Tanya, and its relevance to us in our lives. Have a wonderful day. Be well.